crypto warriors, changing our world day by day. The way of the crypto warriors, can't rely on the bankers, no way.
Good morning, Bix Weir, roadroad.com with your morning horn of Z's, your sip of chaga coffee. Lots going on in silver. I have 2 silver interviews today, talking with the Wall Street silver guys this morning. That'll be posted on their site probably this weekend. And then a live discussion with Jean-Claude and Andy Schectman at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Come check that out. Really interesting discussion about, I think it will be, where we are with the silver. Let's talk about silver. Silver keeps bumping up against that 200-day, or bumping over the 100-day moving average. Bank of America doesn't like that because they're massively short. They can get out of it, with a lot of collusion, with working with the Cftc single chairman that they have left. What happens when they go to zero chairman at the Cftc? Say Rustam Benham gets fired or gets busted for colluding with the bankers. What happens? Does the Cftc still operate? I hear they currently work off a $300 million budget and want another $100 million to add cryptos. That is insane. That is completely insane. They should have no budget. It shouldn't even be open and operating. All they do is run cover for the bankers. If they don't know how to do their job, why do we pay them $300 million? And they want to regulate cryptos. Why do we budget? We'll be budgeting $400 million for an entity that has no clue as to what they're talking about or what they're doing. The only people there that have a clue collude with the bankers to keep the price of silver in control. Tamped down, as Rustam Benham, the head of the CFTC, said. We had to tamp down the silver price because it was going too high. I don't hear him ever saying, we have to tamp up the silver price or tamp up the crypto price. This is criminality. At its worst, it's criminality. In reality, it might be just stupidity. The bankers have us over a barrel. They know. Why do you think they loaded up Bank of America with all these silver short positions? Because they knew Bank of America was a dumb bank and they were too big to fail, meaning they had to be bailed out by the U.S. taxpayer or the whole system falls apart. That's the criminality we're dealing with. Rustam Benham needs to be arrested, the head of the CFTC, in my opinion. Anyway, silver bumped up again. It keeps bumping down and bumping up, bumping down and bumping up, playing with these. This is the whole reason. The 50-day, the 100-day, and the 200-day moving averages. Tech traders like those numbers. That's how they structure their whole investment philosophy. If it falls below the moving averages, they short. If it goes above, they have to go long. That's the way these bankers have gotten away with the criminal, gigantic, concentrated short position and still made money. Somebody told me the other day that Bank of America is doing great because they shorted their average short positions about $24, $25. They're making millions, billions of dollars. And I said, no, that is not true. You don't make that money until you close out that short position. It will be impossible to close out that short position. Impossible. Without shutting down the COMEX, bailing out on a lot of banks. Get your physical silver in your own possession now. Before Andy talks, this is Friday. Who knows what happens over the weekends with metals? Andy's going to have to hedge his position again, and sometimes he runs out of metal. Contact Andy Schectman, Andy, A-N-D-Y, at milesfranklin.com, or go to your local guy. That's my number one recommendation. Go to your local silver guy. Go to a couple of them, establish a rapport, because those are the people you're going to be selling to. Yes, you will want to sell silver when it's over $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. But right now, you're just going to be buying. Get to know your local guys. The amazing thing is so many people know now. Every single silver analyst in the world knows of silver manipulation. Just a handful that work for the bankers claim that's normal. Jeffrey Christian, Jeff Curry. All these guys work for the people who are short. And they're colluding with the crime of manipulating the market. Jeffrey Christian should have been in jail a long time ago. Talk about fake news and fake hairdo. Jeff Curry or Jeff Christian. All right. So silver still holding tight. Cliff's saying something's going to happen around the 17th. According to his data, truthfully, it could be anything. We could be going to war on the 17th. Apparently, that's what Biden wants to do. Biden warns of world war, while UK's trust says Rostov and Voronezh are not Russian. This is the reality is, and I know a lot of people won't understand this. The government that they're showing you in the United States is not the real government. It's not what's going on behind the scenes. There's other people in charge. And I think it was handed over to the military. I did see Biden get sworn in at 11:55 a.m., 5 minutes before constitutionally he's supposed to be sworn in. Why is that? Nobody talks about that. There's all kinds of things that you should know that there's something else going on with our government. That's why the Cftc only has one commissioner now. They can't appoint any commissioners. Well, theoretically it has two, but Dawn DeBerry Stump gave her notice that she's gone at the end of the first quarter. Dawn DeBerry Stump. Great name for her. The stump part. She did nothing there, nothing. And when asked about stopping the manipulation of everything, she said, oh no, that wouldn't be good for the 401ks and people's retirement accounts. Are you kidding me? So you allow manipulation because 401ks and retirement accounts might be affected? That is not your job. Your job is to uphold the law. So that's what we got, and that's the world we live in. All right, I want to talk quickly about cryptos. Still very strong. Bitcoin up 10% in the last 7 days. Let's talk Theta. Theta and the Theta complex are doing great. Currently, Theta is number 40. It'll be up number 2 or 3 very soon. Up 35% in 7 days, mainly because it went down too low. I do want to show you guys something. If you go to guardianmonitor.io and you look at the validator nodes, there's about 250 million tokens that have been staked to validator nodes. Now, these are the big guys. These are basically the owners of, they're not really the owners, but they're the big participants and stakeholders. Binance, Theta Labs, Google, Blockchain, Group A, CAA, Gumi, DHVC. Samsung's in there, but they don't have their name in there. I believe it's Samsung and Sony are so big into this. They know it is the future of their industry. Broadband sharing. That's why they invested very early on. Yes, both of them can download an edge node on every single smart TV they have on the planet instantly and expand broadband by multiples, and we won't have any problem. That's what Theta can do. Just parts of Theta. And there's lots of other parts. But something really interesting, during all this turmoil, where Theta went from 4 cents to $15 back to $2 and now is hovering around $4.30, the amount of Theta staked and amount of T-Fuel stake has barely budged. 65%. It's been there pretty much the whole time. And remember, and this is something a lot of people don't know, the validators have vowed not to stake their T-Fuel. Not to stake their T-Fuel. That's why the T-Fuel number is about 25% exactly. 25% lower than Theta. That's because all the Theta validator nodes have vowed not to stake their T-Fuel. So that's why T-Fuel rewards are higher. And it's probably why that ratio is 19-1, because the validators have been selling their T-Fuel instead of staking it. So you can make a lot of money by staking your T-Fuel. I think it's up 7-8% on the return on it. T-Drop is higher right now. Who knows where that will sort out in the end. But what it tells me, as far as Theta, the big guys aren't leaving. They're not adding to their position, and they're not getting rid of their position. We're still at 65% staked. At some point, it'll go 95% staked when the rest of the world figures out what Theta is. So just keep an eye on that. Last 7 days, we're up 54%. So just keep that in mind. Yes, it's volatile, but it's the early days. It's so early right now, even in cryptos, believe it or not. People keep asking me over and over again, oh, Bix, you don't know what you're talking about. Go watch David Morgan and his guy talk about the conspiracy behind Bitcoin and all that. It's all bullshit. They just take the bad stuff and say, oh, Jeffrey Epstein was involved with cryptos. Of course he was. This is such old news. There is a deep state cabal in the cryptos. We know that. But you don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. Cryptos are our future no matter what Goldbug says they don't want them to be. I'm sorry. And if you don't know that by now, all you're going to do is lose money by listening to these guys say, oh, sell your Bitcoin, sell your cryptos, it's going to go to zero. The power's going to go out. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. The power's going to go out and cryptos won't be worth anything. And then the power comes on and cryptos are exactly where they were before. Truthfully, you can do it mathematically. You don't even need power. No one would. But, if the power goes out, good luck in the Mad Max world of no power. It's just these people, they're like scratching for things to hang on to. Jeffrey Epstein was deeply involved in the early days. Of course he was. So was the deep state. So was the pedo cabal, as I call them. They were all into the gaming tokens. I've done a lot of work on that. Go back to my stuff that I was forced to take offline. I've been sued for what they're talking about right now because I name names. I haven't been sued. I had a cease and desist letter come from a lawyer of a very, very prominent crypto guy because I was calling out what was being done. But that's what we have to do. We have to remove the criminal element from silver, from gold, from our government, and from cryptos. And there is beauty behind the blockchain. And that's the only way we can move forward without human beings mucking everything up. It's through the blockchain. So I think that expose by David and his friend is fine, but I think it's doing a great disservice by not talking about the good side of cryptos, the side that we have to move into the future. And people are losing a hell of a lot of money. And the guy said, "Oh, I got $750 million worth of crypto out of it by doing this series." That was the guy. I forgot the name. Something Perez. I'm like, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. And if you did, you just ruined their lives for the future. The future is cryptos. I hate to tell you. But we can clean up cryptos just like we're going to clean up silver. We're going to clean up gold. We're going to clean up the government. There will be bad elements in everything always. But you're really making a mistake if you are selling your cryptos because of the information being provided there. Because they don't even talk about the side we need, the immutable blockchain. Broadband expansion with Theta. They don't even talk about that stuff because they don't understand it. They don't understand what the future is. And I love David, but he's not a crypto guy. He's probably one of, if not the most knowledgeable about silver, and I love that. I've known David for a long time. He's spoken at Road to Root events. By the way, we have a new video advertising thing that Josh worked on. I'll play it at the end of this. For the roadshow. Make sure you get your tickets for the roadshow. But yeah, I think a huge disservice is being done by the series. And the only reason I mention this is because everybody keeps contacting me. But bitch, you love David. He says get out of cryptos. His guy says get out of cryptos. I said, I do love David. But he's not a crypto expert. Nor by far, his guy is not a crypto expert. He's a good Google search guy. I did that too in the early days before I was slapped with the cease and desist order. But everybody already knew that stuff. It's just new to them. So they think they've discovered something important. What's important is get yourself some good cryptos, get yourself physical silver in your own possession. This game is about to be over. And it could happen any day, any week, any month. I'm not even saying any year anymore. It's happening now as we speak. So hang on tight, my friends. Again, I am going to play right now I think Josh calls it the Freedom Roadshow sizzle video. It's pretty fun. But come join us. Get your tickets. Go to roadtoroot.com. Click on the Roadshow, and we have information and tickets below. and come out and visit us and hang out. And it's a gigantic meetup fun fest. And you'll meet people who understand cryptos, understand silver, and understand the need for freedom in the United States of America. This is Bix Weir. Enjoy it.